Hello and welcome. Today we take a look at the career of Dan Marokane, the CEO of Eskom, one of South Africa's most high-profile and challenging leadership roles. Dan holds a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from the University of Cape Town and a Master's of Science in Petroleum Engineering. He also holds an MBA. Dan is a seasoned executive with over 20 years of experience in energy and industrial sectors. He also served as a member of the UK High Commission Management Board in South Africa and is a member of the University of Johannesburg's Engineering Advisory Board. His profile mentions a role at the Petroleum, Oil and Gas Corporation of South Africa, Petro SA. Before his return as CEO, he had held earlier stints at Eskom in executive roles between 2010 and 2015. He held positions such as Divisional Executive, Chief Commercial Officer, Group Executive, and Group Executive within Eskom. A key takeaway here is that Marokane understood the Eskom environment, its complexities, and its large-scale capital and operational demands. In 2015, Dan and several other senior executives such as Machela Koko were suspended at Eskom amid what the inquiry by the Zondo Commission later called the beginning of the institution's capture. Despite his suspension, there were no misconduct complaints specifically against him in that process.
Did you wonder what he was talking about when he said you have made various representations and have considered when you are sitting, he's sitting next to you and nothing like that has happened?
And Chairperson, I'm a senior executive. I'm quite familiar with the disciplinary processes and what it entails. I could immediately see that this is, this is procedurally getting quite messed up. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So ultimately, you had an agreement with him to cross out certain things in the letter that were not accurate.
That's correct, Chairperson. We crossed out the areas that were immediately visible to me and inaccurate, including the date of the letter at the top and those two sections that I referred to. And then we signed the letter. We both signed the letter and I left the meeting room.
And that was your letter of suspension?
That was my letter of suspension.
Yeah.
After leaving Eskom in 2015, Dan moved to the private sector. He joined Togart Hewlett, a sugar and agriculture company. At Togart Hewlett, he played a role in the turnaround of the company after a major accounting scandal and asset disposal programs shook the company. During his time at Togart Hewlett, he drove internal cash flow optimization, asset disposals. These experiences gave him turnaround and crisis leadership credentials, managing distressed businesses, dealing with operational and financial stress. On 8 December 2023, Eskom announced that Dan Marokane would be appointed as Group Chief Executive to join by 31st March 2024. The board cited his in-depth knowledge of Eskom environment, his leadership through complex turnaround assignments, and his leading from the front style. According to Reuters, he will be working with a strong government shareholder. He is about to tackle the hardest job in South Africa, getting the lights back on.
Those are probably still being dealt with as we speak. Does he tick the box when it comes to integrity?
Absolutely. I've already mentioned that there is a values alignment between him and Eskom around integrity. This is not something that's just talk. It's something that he continues to demonstrate throughout his working life. When he left Eskom, it was largely because of his stand against corruption, against state capture. And that was not something that was popular those days. Many people that were respected decided to go the wrong route, and he chose to take the route less traveled.
His appointment was strategic. He was brought in because he knows the Eskom environment well and has had executive experience in distressed, complex environments. During his earlier tenure at Eskom, pre-2015, In the Group Capital Division, Marokane managed large-scale capital programs, including the mega stations such as Medupi Power Station and Kusile Power Station. His technical engineering background and technical experience in major energy systems is a key advantage for a utility facing aging coal plants, complex infrastructure, and new energy transition demands. He has been tasked with key objectives according to Eskom's board chairman, Mteto Nyati. Number 1. Fix the current business, keep the lights on, reduce load shedding. Number 2. Reposition and restructure Eskom so it is relevant for the future energy landscape. The fact that he already had prior Eskom experience meant less of a learning curve and more credibility with internal stakeholders. This will be crucial for the task at hand. While Eskom is heavily coal dependent, moving forward, Dan is leading the utilities repositioning in the context of just energy transition, renewable power expansion, and infrastructure transformation.
Just about 85 to 90 billion rands for that for the extended coal operation. About 55 to 60% of that relates to fuel costs, coal costs, which coal costs would have been incurred otherwise elsewhere in the stations that we're going to pick up the load for taking the stations out. So that's a no regret part of our cost. The remaining component deals with the operational maintenance aspects of running these units, because in our initial plans we had discontinued them, so we're not going to spend anything. There's a revenue associated with this operation of about 102 billion rand, so on a net basis it cancels off. When we looked at this, we also took into consideration the time to bring the alternative technologies to deal with this energy gap that needs to be served. And this is the most practical aspects to address that gap in the meantime.
According to Eskom, load shedding took place on just 13 days in the 2025 financial year ending March, compared to a massive 329 days over the previous 12 months. Kimera Chetty, a leading advisor at consulting company Africa Practice, says the improved performance is down to political will coupled with sustained coordination across multiple sectors to steady the ship. Debt relief and reduced load shedding, along with improved management and governance, have made a decisive difference, she says. The frequency of outages has reduced dramatically since early last year due to a sudden turnaround in the performance of the coal-fired power station fleet. Eskom made a profit after tax of 16 billion rand in the year to end March 2025, compared to a 55 billion rand loss a year earlier.
To deliver the turnaround.
I also want to dig a little bit into the SARS fuel rebate, because if we strip that out, the profit falls closer to around about 12 billion rand. I mean, it's still a good profit, but can we say this is a real turnaround or a short-term boost that we're not sure if it can be repeated?
No, and you're 100% correct. Even taking out the once-off benefit of the SARS rebate, you still have a profit that Eskom is showing on a normalized basis. And if you coupled with that, Leanne, we've now commissioned the last unit of Kusile, so all 6 units are commissioned. And we're going into the summer, like when we showed the summer outlook, we will have for the first time in 3 years 2 units of Koeberg during the summer period. And
the company said it would reinvest profits into its infrastructure, targeting 230 billion rand of investments over the next 5 years. Although Eskom has shown signs of a positive turnaround, others remain skeptical, warning that the current performance should be taken with a grain of salt. Economists at the Bureau for Economic Research have warned South Africans about Eskom's financial results, noting that the company would have had a cash shortfall of 38 billion rand without taxpayer bailouts. Eskom continues to deal with municipal debt, which stood at 94 billion rand as of 31st March 2025. This is a 27% increase from 2024. Most participating municipalities are failing to meet the basic requirements of paying their current accounts on time and in full. Dan, in a recent interview, said, "We are entering the summer with some headroom that should enable us to do our maintenance. We didn't have this last year. It is this reason that we foresee no load shedding for the cases where unplanned losses remain below 15,000 megawatts. Although there are reasons to be cautious, Eskom seems to be recovering. But the question remains, will they maintain this trajectory? Only time will tell." Check out one of the videos we did, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.